Hello and welcome back to another episode of
Tube Talk!
Tube Talk.
Well, I get to be back in the front of the screen because your bet of the week last week
Was scratched.
Yeah.
It wasn't my fault.
No, it wasn't.
And it definitely would have won. So we can say that I'm doing better than Dad.
And if my bet of the week doesn't come in this week, then you can choose bet of the week next week.
Fantastic. I think so far I've got a great success rate. We can keep that going.
Yeah.
Anyway, moving on. We need to start talking about the horses from last week.
Yes, we do. We do.
First up, the first horse we had running from last week was Chariots of Fire, who came third.
He did. It was a good run. Used up a bit early, got handy, came wide in the straight, fought on really well. It was a second run back for a long time. And we'll talk about it a bit later on, but is ready to put his hoof in the till next start.
And we also had Rock Island Line, who came fourth.
We did really good run. It was kind of fresh up. We backed off him after his last run. We knew the track was going to be a bit too deep for him, but he still got home really well for fourth, and it set him up nicely for a wee little campaign around the Grand National Week in Christchurch. He heads down, he'll run next up over 1400 metres at Oamaru. It'll be very, very hard to beat on the 22nd of July. And then he will go into Grand National Week.
And this week we have got 3 runners running, starting off on Friday at Singapore. In race 5, we have got Holy Grail.
Yeah, and he's an unlikely starter. It's a really good race for him. It's 1800 metres on the poly, which he likes. He's drawn barrier 3, the first decent barrier he has had in a million years, which is what we've been looking for, but unfortunately his first emergency, so we need a scratching for him to get in. Scratchings in Singapore don't happen often, so you can't just elect to scratch your horse in Singapore because it's drawn wide. You can only, the vet has to scratch it, has to look at it in the morning of the race and scratch it, or you have to say there's something wrong with the horse for it to be scratched. So a scratching is unlikely. If he does run, we'll look to sit him up handier than he has been in his races, and he'll get his opportunity from a good draw. So we just got to cross fingers and hope he gets in.
And on Saturday at Sydney in race 6, we have got Rakik.
Rakik, who was the Sydney horse to watch after his fresh up run. Super run. Ran the fastest last 600 in his fresh up race over 1500 metres by some distance. His last 200 was very, very quick. Coming from 15th to get 5th and not beaten far. So he did win second up last preparation I should say, but this time in he's going from 1500 metres to 2000 metres, excuse me. And that's quite tough. It's quite tough second up going 2000. He's drawn wide, so he's going to have to get back and just bide his time in the race with Brenton Advilla on board, and he should get home really well, and he's a distinct winning chance, but as I say, I am just cautious jumping up in distance so quickly that he will be better for this run going over ground next start, third up over 2000 metres. So he's a chance on Saturday, but he's got plenty of improvement.
And finally on Sunday, back at Singapore in race 5, we have got Chariots of Fire.
No runners in New Zealand this weekend.
No, I mentioned that. I was going to say we've got 3 different days, 2 different countries, but not New Zealand.
No, it's just winter, and
which is odd.
We've probably got that many winter horses at the moment. So I've got a little bit left here.
Okay.
You know, you just get a little tickle in your throat, and it sort of itches. But anyway, Chariots of Fire, who we talked about earlier, we're backing him up. He came through his run really, really well. He's got barrier 3, so he's got a really good draw, and he hasn't for his first 2 starts. He's really good when he finds a rail. If he can jump, lead, or even trail and find the rail, he's really good. He looks back to good form. He's got a 4 kilo claimer on. He'll only carry 51.5, so he's a very good winning chance. It is like Sunday is kind of like Singapore's Cup week. It's Derby Day. They've got the Derby's on. It's a big day, and a lot of good horses are out and about. And it does look like a strong form race, but he's going well, and he's a distinct winning chance. Looking forward to seeing him run.
I like that phrase, trail and find the rail.
Trail by the rail. Trail by the rail!
No. Moving on. As we before mentioned, last week, Vet of the Week was scratched. So this week, Dad's going to try bring his... Oh my gosh. You're popular. This week, we're going to try bring our A game with, drumroll please, Venerate, running at Trentham in race 5 on Saturday.
The Wellington Steeplechase, a time-honoured Wellington Steeplechase. I think it's a poor field this year. You've got the top 2 horses. You've got Amanud Lad is a very, very good horse, and Wise Men Say is a very good horse. But Trentham's a funny figure-8 track, and it suits some and not others. Both those horses have raced at Trentham and never won. And I think of the 2, I think Wise Men Say is a better chance. But being a weak field, I've gone for a horse at the bottom of the page, Venerate, who's on the minimum of 65 kilos. He looks to have only had average form throughout his career. He's had 49 starts with 3 wins, but his form this preparation has been miles better than any other preparation he's had. He's going way better. He's also trained by a guy called Harvey Wilson, who can really train jumpers. He was an equestrian rider himself, and he really gets his jumpers going well. And we've had a bit of the week of his before, which is 1. And this horse just has a sense of timing about it. It's raced well on the flat, it's had 1 go over steeples, it's raced really well over steeples this time in its last start. I think it'll be ready for the 5,500, I think it'll be fit, and it's paying $12 and 3.10. So it's good each way money.
There you go.
I think Fixed Odds Venerate is the horse to back. That is our
bet of
the week.
That was
with Wise Men Say to run second. There you go.
Hooray. We need to get that bit more in synchronised. I was trying to say at the same time, it just really wasn't working.
No, we do.
I apologise greatly.
We'll work on that. And
we will.
So,
until next time,
let's Tube Talk.
See you next week.